back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Allison. If you're also not new here, welcome back. Today we're building a vacation home in Oasis Springs. I was originally going to try to make this a simply base game build, but as you'll see, I kind of got a little bit carried away and used a lot of packs. I want to say I mainly used like Dream Home Decorator just because I kind of wanted this build to kind of have the feel that someone came in and kind of designed it, thinking along the lines like maybe some NBA or NFL wife is like building this Airbnb listing to kind of make some money and kind of designing it. So they had a lot of money to begin with, and they're just like, I want a whole bunch of nice stuff. But I am right now we're kind of working on the pool in the backyard. It's not as luxurious, luck oh my goodness, luxurious as it could be in the back. I wasn't I was trying to find a nice in between of this could be a family, this could be like a spring break retreat. Um, but it is quite a bit per day. When I brought Penny Pizzazz here to playtest, I think it was $1,000 to rent it a day, which is kind of a lot, but also, I mean, depends how you play The Sims. I know some people love to cheat for money and just kind of want good builds, and other people are more along the lines of the regs to riches style. So it kind of just depends where you fall in that. Right now, we're kind of floor planning, and I end up keeping one of these doors but getting rid of another one just because I like the open look, but also I thought two of them was just a little too much. In this smaller one, we have kind of like a master suite. So it's kind of like I imagine it would be like the parents or maybe the main people who like organized it. And then in the other one, we have like a main kitchen, dining, living, along with three other three other bedrooms. One of them does include bunk beds, so it can't really be a couples retreat. If you want, you could probably bring three couples and then maybe two extra friends, or it could just be like a family vacation and maybe two of them don't have um, a significant other. But right now we're jumping back out and doing some landscaping. It kind of took me a little bit to get it just how I wanted. I kind of wanted like a overgrown but still upkept. And then I found these pillars from Eco Lifestyle, and I was like, this is perfect. It'll give just the dimension I want to this build. And I probably overused them. And I probably should have used the ones that go down with the walls so that they're not in the way for gameplay, but I just like these too much. I didn't want to try to mess around and replace them. But yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about myself since this is my first voiceover, so give me a break if it's a little rough. I tried to find my good headphones with a good microphone, but I'm stuck using my AirPods, so I'm sorry if the sound isn't as clear as you'd like. But a little bit about me is that I'm from the Midwest, so you may hear me say "oh." Um, I also have two cats. So right now they're sleeping in our desk chairs, so hopefully they don't bother me. I say sleeping as James is giving me the eye because I'm talking too much. He's trying to sleep. But yeah, a little bit more about me is that I originally started playing The Sims on the PS4, and so I'm relatively new to a PC setup, but I'm kind of learning still the tips and tricks because I know like all of the hotkeys for this PS4 controller, but not the keyboard, so it might look a little funny, mostly just because I'm used to like controlling the camera with a Joy-Con, which is so much easier, but also it's a lot easier to have a mouse to kind of go around as opposed to just a Joy-Con, so there's some pros and cons. But yeah, we're just about to finish up this landscaping up front. Sorry if this gets a little repetitive. Like I said, this is my first voiceover, so I really have almost absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I have listened to a lot of voiceovers and YouTubers, but they kind of just go off and talk on rants. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'm getting a little nervous because I'm going on vacation on Saturday. I'm currently recording this on Wednesday. Like I'm on vacation on Saturday, and I'm very much a planner, and I have not planned the trip at all. Like I have like the reservations and stuff, but I don't know like what I'm doing each day, and that's kind of stressing me out. And I work tonight, um, so we'll see. I'll probably plan it tomorrow, but also I just don't really have the energy or effort to plan it, and I kind of just want to go with the flow. But I know that doing that will cause me more stress. So sorry, that kind of turned into a little bit of a therapy session. I'll save that for my therapist. But yeah, here I'm just kind of pulling out some beds, and I actually ended up keeping the beds that I pulled out. A lot of the times I'll end up switching them. So I thought it was kind of interesting that I pulled out the ones that I like, but also I did pull out ones I like. So maybe that's the reason why I kept them. And just trying to figure out the layout here in the kitchen. Like I said, I use a lot of Dream Home Decorator. All of the beds over here are Dream Home Decorator. The cabinets are Dream Home Decorator. And then the appliances that I used and the stuff in the bathrooms that I used are Jungle Adventure. Except for, what's the other thing that I used? I literally, oh, the tub. The tub over in the, like, the smaller side of the building. That's Dream Home Decorator. But other than that, I kind of just use a lot of Dream Home Decorator. Oh, and the couches I end up using are from Get Famous, and I really like them, except for, I'll save it for when we get there. But, oh, one thing I did here is I used like two different styles of cabinets, so like you can kind of tell, but also I liked how it was slightly different. So I ended up keeping that. And I'm just trying to find some decor to kind of like go up on the walls to make it look like empty. I didn't want to put cabinets up there because I didn't want to block the only window in that space. So, and now we're just going over to the dining space, and I wanted to make sure there was a lot of room for all the Sims that could stay here. And I wanted to try to add some more color in because I'm really bad at adding color. But I added this nice blue, and then I got a nice little bouquet from Eco Lifestyle. And then I wanted a nice little chandelier hanging down. The one I ended up getting, I think, is from the Oasis kit. Yeah. And then getting some artwork up on the wall in the back. I really have no idea what to talk about. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to ramble on about. I already rambled on about my trip and about my cats. I guess I can talk more about my cats. That could be kind of fun. So I have two cats. One of them I've had for almost, well, I've had her for a little over a year, about a year and a half, and she turns 2 in January, and her name is Inez. And then James, the one who was staring me down, he's asleep now. I can't see if Inez is asleep or not, but she probably is. They love our office chairs. But James he's about to turn what, 8 months? And we got him in June. And his story about how we got him is kind of funny because one of my coworkers, they were taking off their pool cover for like the summer, and they had like found a dead mama cat. And then they were like, "Oh, well, I wonder how long she's been dead." And then they pulled her out, and a couple days later, they found a little litter of kittens, and it was like, "Oh my goodness!" And then me and my boyfriend just brought it in, and we like raised him, and we actually thought it was a girl at first, and it ended up being a boy when we took it to the vet. They're like, "No, we can feel some, some boy parts, so it's gonna be a boy." And I was like, "Oh." Because we were calling him Betty for the longest time, and then we took him in, and they're like, "Do you still want to call him Betty?" And we were like, probably not. Because we had been going back and forth. I tried to convince my boyfriend that we should have just named him James, and then if it was a boy, James would make sense. But also, James is really cute as a girl's name, but he wasn't on board for that. Anyway, this is kind of interesting. I use these jungle adventure pieces, and I ended up having to like mess with them a lot to try to get the glow to go away because I really didn't want the glow, and I ended up just cutting it out because it took me a while to mess around with tulle and stuff. And then I'm also here finally starting on the living room. It's perfect. Anyway, it bothers me how there's not a like a two-seater style of that couch, but I just got this like it kind of honestly looks like it's a futon, so it could like lay down into a bed, but it's not. But I got the tiny living lights, and then I get a rug, probably a fluffy rug, because I love a good fluffy rug. Oh no, I got the Eco Lifestyle rug in here because I also use it in the other bedroom and I was trying not to overuse it. But I love a good fluffy rug. It just makes the space look so nice. And then I use this bookshelf from Snowy Escape. Put a little drink tray on it and maybe plants. Oh no, bowl. Yeah. And then I pulled out the remote to put on there to kind of make it look a little more realistic. And then we're doing the kitchen over on the other side. Over here, it's kind of like a bare bones. We have a counter to like chop up on and a cooktop that you could like maybe boil some mac and cheese, but you have to go in the sink to like strain the water and stuff. So not entirely realistic, but I figured it would be kind of nice just to kind of have a little kitchen over here in case you were like hankering something in the middle of the night. You could just mix it up real quick. And I also put another bar over here. I figured it's a vacation home. Why not go crazy on the bars? And then I really wanted like the little entry area, but all I could fit is a mirror. And then I think eventually I'd pull out an umbrella stand to go over there after I find the right rug. Like I said, a lot of Dream Home Decorator. Those couches, that chair, this rug, even the cooktop. Lots of Dream Home Decorator. I just really like that pack. And then I'm finally getting the little pieces. They kind of look like shelves, but they're little pieces to extend the curtain so it could look like it could go all the way around that track. And then I think I finally get an umbrella stand maybe. Oh no, I get a little blanket of a basket of blankets. Good lord, getting so tongue tied. We're about halfway through the voiceover now, so that's good. I've been procrastinating this for so long just because I've been so scared about how I'll sound or how it'll be, but I think it'll turn out okay. And like everything, you just kind of have to jump in head first and let it go because it's been really bothering me that all of the YouTube videos I posted back in December, I was like, I'm just going to use the same copyright free audio and it'll be okay. It'll just be a good footing. And then in January, I'll start with voiceovers, which is fun, but also it's kind of intimidating because you have to sit here and talk the length of the entire build. So it might be good that I kind of have some smaller builds coming up in January. And I completely forgot to say that this month I'm going to kind of do theme weeks. So in case you didn't know, I post every Sunday and Wednesday, kind of around 3 p.m. Central Time. And so this week it's vacation home. And so obviously this is a vacation home. And then on Wednesday I have kind of like a log cabin that I built in Granite Falls, the world that came with Outdoor Retreat going up. I still have to do the voiceover for that, so hopefully that's good. I'm kind of pre-recording before my trip, so as long as those two are up, we should be Gucci. And now we're just going into the bathroom. Sorry, I'm just gonna be jumping a little bit all over in this voiceover until I figure out what to talk about. But I'm just kind of putting some nice skincare or nice little things that kind of would might be in a vacation home bathroom, like some products they're giving you, and of course some sunscreen because we are in Oasis Springs. We don't want to get burnt. And here I am. We're hopping back into the bunk bed room, which in my like how I would see it, this would kind of be like maybe you're going on spring break with some college roommates and these two are the ones that don't have significant others. At least that's what I kind of related to. Like maybe it's like two close friends or something that they really don't want to share a bed, so it's kind of nice that there isn't. And then over here on the dresser, we put like a little basket of, I imagine, like linens, either like some towels or maybe an extra set of sheets, and then some skincare items. And then I think I put some kind of flower. I don't know which one it is. Oh yeah, it's like tulips. And I really love that mirror. I think it's from the Pastel Pop kit. And I need to try to figure out how to mess around with the tool. I tried to do it with the tool mod to try to get it to rotate more. So it's like vertical, horizontal as opposed to vertical. Me, a math major, getting my horizontal and verticals mixed up. Couldn't couldn't be more. Anyway, we're hopping back over to this green room. I kind of color coded the rooms as to, I don't know, identify them more. But got this little love seat, and I hate when things clip. and Miss Simrino, in one of her videos I watched, she said that you can size something down with a tool mod to 0.99, and then they like don't have that weird clipping anymore, and they are practically the same size. So I do that a little bit just to kind of help with the clipping, but sometimes the size difference is like just a little bit too much. Like I tried to do it with some dressers in one of the builds for next week, and the dressers were just a little bit too different that it didn't look like they were the same. So I just kind of went with the clipping, I guess. But yeah, we're kind of throwing the same things kind of up on this dresser as in the other ones because I kind of wanted to look like someone had purposely left this stuff out, as in like the host of the vacation home was kind of leaving it out as opposed to like the people staying there left it out. And then I added those glass like succulent containers above that bed, and oh my gosh, they're so pretty. I love them so much. I almost used them in my Christmas home build, but I was like, that's too modern. I can't do that. But I had to use them somewhere. But and we're also getting a little chair in here. I imagine this is kind of like a little bit of the nicer room in this side, just because there's a little bit more room. But yeah, this should almost finish us up over here. Oh yeah, I switched out the bedside tables so they kind of all matched because I figured, like I said, someone had kind of bought them in a set as opposed to just like finding them, um, or like accumulating over time. So now we're hopping over to like the master, and I kind of combined these two armchairs together to look like a little couch, and I kind of love it. I kind of love it. Anyway, sorry, I kind of cut out there for a little bit. I went back and tried to fix it, and now I was just kind of messing with sizing up and down that rug. It's from high school years, and I don't love it that much because it's awful to size up, and it's kind of this weird size. Because like when you size it up, I feel like the tassels are just way too big, and like when you size it down, it's like got this oblong shape. But I really try to use it, but then off a lot of times I'll just kind of go for like this dream home decorator one, but that's just personal preference. I'm sure there's some people out there who love the size of it, but personally, I find it really hard to use. And now I'm just kind of adding some personal touches to the bedside table, and I'm popping outside. I put these plant like separator, oh my gosh, plant wall racks up outside, and put a ceiling fan. Got some floaties in the pool as well as a pool ladder, and then I put out some loungers because I figured obviously you're on vacation, you have to be able to lounge around and kind of relax. It's not till the end that I put like the umbrellas by it because I wasn't sure if I wanted that or not. But now I'm getting a tiny little grill and bar area with the Oasis kit, which is actually free in October, and I missed that time. Sadly, I was in a stretch of time where I was not able to just log on the Steam and grab it, and I really regret that, even though it was only $5. I mean, $5 adds up. And here I'm adding a little platform all the way around the backyard, and I throw like a dirt paint down on it, and I add a whole bunch of landscaping. I cut it out because it took me forever because I like pulled out those little green beds from the debug menu, and then I added plants in it. I thought it kind of added something nice and kind of made it feel more enclosed in like a certain space because it didn't close off the fence because I have a hard time figuring out what kind of fencing to use in the backyards. I feel like that's something that I struggle with because I grew up in like a rural farm. So like the only fencing I knew was like fencing to keep the cattle in. So like I'm like, oh, I have no idea how to fence this house. But like I said, here are the umbrellas that I put in between the loungers, along with that drink tray from the backyard stuff kit, I believe. And I put all the lights, and we're on the screenshots. Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below. Alrighty, I'll see you next time. Bye!